Today we're going to look at the snow globe ornament. This is a little fun project, quite quick and very effective. So we've got 2 layers of wash away stabilizer in the hoop. We've done our placement stitching. Now we're about to put a piece of cutaway stabilizer down for us to actually do our second placement line so that we can see where to put our fabrics. And we're going to have a bit of landscape and a tree. So Christmas theme, of course. Trim away the cutaway stabilizer. We're just trimming the stabilizer on top of the 2 layers of wash away. We're using a woven wash away rather than a pliable wash away. And we use 2 layers just to keep it nice and firm and so as we don't get any shift. Put our first piece down, which is a piece of cork. This is going to be the base of our snow globe. Because we're going to be using 2 layers of PVC to actually make the snow globe, be careful how thick your fabrics are. We've used cork and we're going to use another piece of PU, but don't go too thick. There's no need to use batting in this exercise either. So we've got the trunk of the tree. Now we're going to put in the top of the tree, the branches. And we're going to put some tinsel on it, just to give it some detail. Placement line for the snow, which is just going to be a piece of shiny PU with a bit of texture in it. Trim off any of your little straggly threads if you've got some there, and then place a piece of fabric right side up on the back of the hoop. We're going to stick it down with some washi tape. Just stick it down lightly, just so it doesn't move, but try not to stretch the stabilizer in the hoop. And we're going to stitch around the outline of the whole design so as we can trim back the back of the cloth that we've stuck on. Take your time, get nicely into the corners. We're going all the way around the edge of this design. Right. Trim out any stragglers. And we're going to do the satin stitch around the edge of the trunk of the tree, and then we're going to look at the satin stitch around the other areas. So we've done around the edge of the tree. We've done around the base of the cork. Trim back any little threads. The back of the work, just make sure that everything is there. Putting a piece of clear PVC on the back of the hoop. Stick it on with washi tape. Don't go too thick with the PVC. I mean, say is half a millimeter or even a millimeter PVC should be okay. Something you could get from an office products depot or from your hardware store. and we're trimming around the edge of the work. And we're using a seam ripper, but it has to be really sharp to do this. So seam ripper or some sharp snips, sharp little scissors. Be careful not to cut those threads. We do not want the PVC to actually come away from our work. Okay, so there, the tree is free. So we've still got the plastic behind it. The tree is free, and we want to clean up the edges of the tree and get rid of the stabilizer. So just with a Q-tip or what we call a cotton bud, just wet it with water, with warm water, and just take the excess of that away from the edge of our tree and the base of our snow. Try not to get any of that water onto the stabilizer, which is still hooped, because that will be dire. Clean the window of the plastic and leave that to dry off a bit. We don't want it wet in between the two layers if we can possibly help it. Yeah, you can do it. You can put the top on it straight away. We're putting some sequins. You could put some beads. You could put some tinsel flecks. You could put some glitter. Just something novel inside. Underneath, put it underneath the tree. Keep it away from the edges, because we're going to place another layer of PVC on top. Just hold it there in place. Now you may need to put slip another layer of the wash away underneath the PVC if you find the PVC is sticking to the base of your machine. You'll be able to tell that very, very quickly. You could use a layer of tissue paper, a layer of printer sheet, or printer paper. You could use another layer of the wash away, just so as it makes it a little bit more lubricated, because you don't want it to stick to the base of the machine, because some machines it will stick to. You don't have to actually have it see-through. You could put some fabric on the back. It does not have to be totally see-through. It's up to you how you do this. This is how we're doing this. Trimming close to our stitching, getting rid of any little threads and stragglers. We're going to make sure that our bobbin matches our top thread, because this is the final stitch around. It's such a fun little ornament. There we go. Okay, so we want to trim as much of the excess off as possible, because we're not going to submerge this. We're going to actually just use a Q-tip and actually take the excess stabilizer away from the edges without putting it. We don't really want to soak this, because we don't want water getting in between the two layers of the plastic. We really don't. So with a towel that's got a bit of loft to it, you can either do it up in your hands like this, or you could lay it on the towel and do it if you feel that it's more comfortable for you. Use a Q-tip, cotton bud, and just make sure that Q-tip is quite saturated. And just work all the edges to get the remaining stabilizer off. Quite a fun little project. Be great as a personalized gift for somebody. That little loop at the top is for you to hang with, of course. Just fun.